What's up, everyone? This is very impromptu and spontaneous. I haven't vlogged since my mother and I went to Arizona, and we decided to vlog our trip, the road trip out there and the road trip back. And I was watching some of those videos, and it was actually really fun doing that. And it's a good outlet because no one really knows that I have a YouTube channel. Because I don't really, I just sign in because that's how I keep my subscribers. Not my subscribers, that's how I subscribe to others, and check their videos daily. But I wanted to rant about something, and I can't do it on Facebook. I kind of have to do it anonymously, but my face is still shown, so if you know me personally, please don't share this. It's gonna be so raw, it's so bad. But I really don't care. I want to put this out there because I will probably sleep better and feel better about it once I do. Because I have held my tongue for quite some time. Because we have to. And that's what this is about. So, here we go. It's a retail rant, by the way. It's a corporation, policy, retail, all that kind of shit kind of rant. So if you're into that, like whether not into it, but like if you work for retail, if you work for a corporation, and you've seen some fucked up shit happen as far as policy goes, yay, I'm with you. My mom worked for a company, we're gonna call it, what's in front of me? John Jacobs. Let's call it John Jacobs. So my mother worked for John Jacobs ever since my brother and I were old enough to kind of look after ourselves when we got home from school. If I keep looking at myself in the camera, it's because I know I look tired. It's fucking 1:30 in the morning. Although I do work until 11:30, so it's really not that late for me. But I am self-conscious about how I look. So, anyway, my mom works for John Jacobs. John Jacobs Jingleheimer Smith, which I can't even say right now, for about 20 years, ever since she could go back to work after having my brother and I, and we were old enough to look after ourselves. It was a much different day than it is fucking 15, 20 years from now, which is weird. She started working part-time and then eventually kept advancing because that's who we are as a family. Like, we're strong workers. We are dedicated. We are loyal. We like having the feeling when you clock out for a shift and you know damn well you worked your ass off to make the money that you're making. I get high off of that in a way. And as an adrenaline junkie, that's a big thing. And I think I get that from my mom and my dad. So after about 20-something years with the company, John Jacobs, we're gonna call him, she was terminated. From what seemed to me out of nowhere. But what it boiled down to was, like most corporations, they had certain policies and certain standard practices and things they like to uphold, and one of them is the shoplifter apprehension policy guideline. I don't know. I'm not going to get into huge details about it because that'll give away way too much. But it's basically that you can't accuse someone of shoplifting unless you saw them eye contact, like you maintained them in your eyesight. You wait until they went to go check out the register. If they didn't pay for what you thought they stole, then you can ask something. But holiday times, like from early November to late end of December probably, are shit for anyone who works retail. I don't care what line of retail you're in, it's shitty. You have asshole customers, they're impatient, they're rude. I'm not saying they're all bad, there's a few good ones in there. But for the most part, the general public is always in a rush. They're always snotty. They always want what they want, when they want it. They have no idea what patience is. We live in a society of just instant gratification. And that can take a toll on a lot of people when they spend 40 hours a week dealing with that, even more. Like some places you'll work 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. Who the hell knows? It's frustrating and it's trying, and it makes you a better person because it teaches you patience. Something I've learned over the years, not perfected, but I've learned, I've grown. One day she was working at the customer service desk at John Jacobs, Jingleheimer Schmidt, and a regular customer, someone she trusts, someone that I actually know. He was actually in a wedding. It's a long story. I'm not going to name names. But it's someone that I know, and he to this day will never know that he was the start of all this, that eventually got my mom fired. It's not on his fault. My mom knew the policy. She did fault it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this guy comes up, a regular customer, a trusted customer, and says, hey, I just saw a woman in aisle whatever taking formula, or not formula, because most places, I'm not giving away where I work, keep that behind the counter, but it's like, it's dry cereal, it's dried powdered mix, and you put it in a bottle, you shake it up, it's fine. It's not actual formula, but it is like a nutrition drink, I guess, for babies. I don't know, I don't have kids. But my mom, after hearing this, had enough for the day. Had enough of assholes, people trying to pull one over, people trying to scheme the system, like everyone does. And went up to this woman in the aisle and said, excuse me, ma'am, from what I heard, this is hearsay, did you take something off the shelf and put that in that bottle, and put it in that bottle? She said no. My mom said, okay, I'm gonna go check the DVR. Knowing damn well there's no recording device in that aisle, but at that point, you're not going to engage with an argument. You're not going to insist on that customer, like, turning their pockets out or anything like that, because that's a huge, huge violation of someone's privacy, and of the shoplifter apprehension guidelines, by the way. There was no raising voices. There was no argument. There was no confrontation. It was just a simple conversation. The woman was probably offended. I would have been offended, too. But at the same time, shit happens. But this woman decided to complain to corporate, which is well within her right. I'm not going to be biased about this. I will understand that that's something worth complaining about. If you're a regular customer at a place and all of a sudden you're accused of shoplifting, fuck, man, what the hell? So she complained. It eventually worked its way out the poll. There was a sit-down conversation, and there was an action that needed to be made. And what someone sitting in an office, again, I can't use names, but I know exactly who it boiled down to, made the decision to terminate my mother after 20-something years of dedicated, loyal service, hardworking, great inventory results in any department she worked in. I mean, that's not bias, that's just factual. She was terminated. And I had a really hard time because I worked in the same John Jacobs store as she did at the time. And a lot of regular customers asked me, you know, where's your mom at? Or where's that woman that ran the front end? Da, 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 da. And I'm on the clock and I'm wearing the uniform, and I have to say, I can't talk about that. I can't. And it's not even because I couldn't, like I wasn't forbidden to talk about it. It's just I couldn't talk about it without getting emotional. Because I thought it was so shitty, the strong reaction they took. When I first heard that things were happening, I assumed suspension, demotion, something along those lines. Still kind of like a punch to the gut, but not life-threatening as far as like your home life goes, because people need to be able to pay their bills. And foreshadowing, she's fine. Everything's fine. Everything worked out, I think, for the best. But she definitely no longer works for John Jacobs. I, however, don't really have much of a choice without a college education. I mean, I could switch companies, but I was making decent money, and I have now moved up in the company, which means I have now transferred locations. So I'm learning some more stuff. And what I witnessed the other day pissed me off for only the sole reason that if it happened to my mother, which it did, she was fired. And this person can do it without a fucking blink of the eye. So I work in a store that is close to some low-income housing. It's not a problem. I get it. Sorry. Oops. I understand. Oh, God, now it's tilted. Oh, Jesus. What's happening? Oh, God. So I'm just going to stand over here now. I work in a store now that is subject to low-income housing. It's a higher rate for theory. I have to be more on my game about that. But I also now have this paranoia about, like, okay, I don't want to lose my job over someone stealing a fucking 99-cent candy bar. So, there's a middle school right next to my store. And apparently, I haven't been there for long, so I don't know exactly, but apparently there's issues with a lot of the kids coming in before school and after school and stealing stuff. You know, candy bars, sodas, whatever they can fucking shove in their pocket and quickly make out the door before we can say or do anything. So Friday was the last day of school. There have been a couple of kids who have been banned from the store, which again, I don't really understand yet. I'm still learning that kind of stuff, because in Newmarket, where I might have worked for John Jacobs, that wasn't an issue. Probably because of transportation, no middle school kid is going to walk 2 miles to a grocery store to steal a candy bar. But when it's right next door, I get it. So Friday, school's let out early. It was the last day of school. We had about 40, and I'm not exaggerating, 40 kids walk into the store at once. And I was told by my MOD at the time, because that's who I report to when I'm not the MOD, to make sure I stand guard at the front of the store. And I did. And as I'm standing guard, I see another associate, and I'm not going to name titles or names, had assumed that a child, and I say child because they really are middle schoolers. I'm not exaggerating, they're middle schoolers. Had put a candy bar or something in his pocket. And she says, "Turn out your pockets. You gonna show me what's in your pocket?" I think is what she said. And he kind of looked at her like, "What?" She said, "Can you turn out your pockets for me? Can you show me what's in your pockets?" So he emptied his pockets on the next register, and there's nothing in there besides like some change, cash, whatever a fucking middle schooler would have in his pocket, but no product that was stolen from the store. And he was offended. I mean, as he should be. I'm sorry, just because I'm not going to make it a race thing. I'm not going to. But I felt wrong about watching the situation happen. It shouldn't have happened. In no way should that be asked of someone if you didn't physically see them do it and maintain eye contact. And then later on, this same person went to another kid and was like, "Show me where you put it," because he was trying to steal a candy bar and then realized we were watching him. So he dumped it somewhere in the aisle. He didn't steal it. Who gives a shit where he put it? Your job is not to police. Your job is to serve the customers. Oh God, I'm getting angry. But anyway, because these kids are, 12, 13 years old, they're not going to complain to corporate. This person is not going to lose her job, and I don't want her to. She's a great person. I love working with her. She taught me a lot so far already, and I've only been in that store for a month. But that is so against guidelines, and my mom wasn't even close to doing that, and yet she got fired. It's unfair, and I get it. Life's unfair. Blah, blah, blah. Retail. Blah, 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 blah. But I had to rant about it, and I can't do it on Facebook. I can't do it to certain people because a lot of my friends work within the company, and I can't have it going back to the store that I'm unhappy with some of the procedures, because I very much am. I am basically being told to treat customers, as young as they are, like they're criminals the second they walk in. I don't know these people. I've only been at that store for a few weeks. I'm not going to treat someone like a criminal if I don't know for a fact that they're a fucking thief and a criminal. And even then, I have a soft spot for anyone who knows me, who knows my history of just trying to help rather than trying to punish. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my rant. I made myself some awesome pork chops and some corn on the cob. And that's really all I had to say. I had to rant. And I'm gonna watch this back and maybe I'll upload it, maybe I won't. But who the hell knows? Oh my God, ew. Sorry, I keep looking at myself and it's fucking gross. Anyway, thanks for listening. And if you guys like my rants or just like the sound of my voice, let me know and I'll maybe try to do this more regularly. Some people told me that I should, but I feel like it's better with my mom here. She keeps me in check with my rambling. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have an awesome day.